You can make as many plans as you want on a boat, but sometimes, when you get there, you find that the bays are already full with other yachts, the forces of nature are working against you, and you end up somewhere where you didn't think you were going to be. Where should we be?
Forni.
Where are we?
Patmos. It's a nice place though.
We've just spent the last 3 weeks doing this, working on our computers in the summer office of Sailing ABC. And it's not a bad office, I'm going to be fair with you. We've got cold beer downstairs, we've got a great view whichever way we look here. Oh, and cold wine, of course. But the reason why we've been working non-stop for 3 weeks is because we wanted to buy some time. And Ansh's just working on a final video, which will mean that we've bought ourselves approximately 5 to 6 weeks of time. They're all uploaded, they're all done, they're all completed, they're all scheduled for release. And that means as soon as the wind starts blowing in the right direction, we can then go off on a sailing adventure. Just chill out and relax, because that's what this is all about really. Not sitting in front of computers every day.
My eyes are like this. We're in Patmos and we left Pythagoria in Samos at 10:30 AM yesterday, hoping to go to Forni.
Yeah, let that one go. Yeah, wasn't too bad. The wind was with us most of the way, and at one point we actually got 8 knots of speed.
Yeah. Speed.
8.
Woo! Woohoo! True wind.
24.
Woohoo! Maximum hull speed.
9.
So we're not doing badly.
Doing all right.
And that's just with the head sail. Woohoo!
At one point we actually got, I think, 27 knots of wind.
Yeah.
So that was pretty good.
Yeah, maximum 30, gusts every now and then.
Yeah.
Well, we got to Forni,
We did.
and there are several little bays that we could have anchored in if everything was going well. A couple of them were already full, and one of them had bad holding, didn't it?
Yeah, we tried to drop the mantis twice, but obviously it was very thin sand over rock, so it just dragged.
Yeah.
And of course the wind was still blowing at 25 knots at that point.
Yes, it
so
was.
it was getting a bit hairy,
Yeah.
getting pushed around while getting the anchor back up,
Yeah.
and had the potential to push us into some other boats that were
Yeah.
there. So we ditched that cove
Yeah.
and went to another cove.
Yeah, another little cove, which actually looked like a really nice place to stop, and it had cemented posts that were
along the side of the coast.
Yeah, so you could actually do stern to and then swimming across, tying a line ashore.
But 25 knot winds was coming right on the backside, so it would have blown us before Andrew would have had a chance to get a line ashore.
From the anchor.
We'd have been all over the place.
Yeah.
So it was just not possible.
No. So we actually sailed across the cut, which is where the wind tunnels down, which wasn't actually
it was still gusting to 30 there.
Yeah. Hoping that one of the little bays that we saw on the chart plotter would be good holding.
But that turned out to be all rock. So at this point we're losing light.
Around about 5:30, 5:50 we ended up making a decision, because we had no options left really, except go back to Samos, which would have taken hours.
So the decision was made to come to Patmos, which was only a 2-hour trip away.
Yes.
And of course the wind, which had been blowing like billy-o all day.
Got the head sail full out, we're all going to go.
Nope. The wind decides it's giving up for the day. It's done its job. It's going home.
Yeah.
So we had to motor because we needed to reach this anchorage before it got dark. Because one thing I certainly don't want to do is come into an unknown anchorage in the darkness. So we got here with about an hour's daylight.
Left,
and dropped anchor in this nice little bay here. We're in 6 meters of water. It's very clear water.
Yeah.
The bottom is sand with some weed patches, but the mantis just went straight in and boom.
Wasn't that a relief?
It was.
That was about 8 o'clock at night, so it was quite a long day for us actually.
It was a huge day.
And it was an adventure chock full of different scenarios that we hadn't expected, which is why we're doing this.
Yeah. So of course Patmos is further south than we anticipated we were going to go at this stage of the journey, because really we wanted to head west and slightly north. So we've sat down this morning with Google Earth, the pilot guidebook and also the chart plotter, and mapped out roughly where we're going to go next, which surprisingly is a little bit south again. A
little bit south, but also west. But the direction that we're going to go in is going to open up a lot of islands for us. Yeah. So it feels like a really good choice, doesn't it?
And I think the biggest hop we've got is like 26 miles.
Which we like the idea of.
That's easy to do.
Because as well, that means that if one anchorage is full, then we haven't got far to go before, we can find somewhere else sort of thing. So
leave early enough in the morning and you still leave yourself plenty of daylight hours.
Yes.
Yeah. So today I'm going to download footage from the cameras, recharge all the batteries because already our batteries on the boat are full and we are producing much more power than we need from our solar array.
So we're going to get hot water.
So we've already got hot water. Basically just make sure that when we're ready to move, everything's good to go.
It's a nice little bay, isn't it? I'm happy that we actually found here. I mean, it seems to me that the universe has got better plans than we had.
Time to chill out, I think.
Yeah.
From 30-knot winds just a day ago, we've woken up to this morning. Almost zero wind, just a light breeze, but dead calm seas, dead flat. Really, really comfortable to sleep when it's like this. Now, how many of you are old enough to remember a kids' TV cartoon from 1971 called The Hair Bear Bunch? I do. I think I was probably about 9 years old at the time. I think with my hair at the moment, I qualify for a leading role if they ever decide to bring back the Hair Bear Bunch. But today we're going to fix that. Just over here off our starboard side is a small cove, and we're going to take the dinghy over there, and Ancha's going to turn it into a hairdressing studio so I look fabulous again. Well, this is probably one of the most interesting places I've ever had a haircut. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Quite a few of our regular viewers have asked us to explain how we go about passage planning, so I think we'll use the Greek island of Amorgos in the example here.
The first place we look is the pilot book, and in our case it's the Greek Waters pilot book. And we're looking at the island of Amorgos, and so we read all the information that the author has given us on the island itself, the approaches, mooring facilities and all the different anchorages, and then we work out which one that is our preferred anchorage. In this case it's Catapala, because it's got the best holding, and he's even got a photograph of it here. And then we also chose two other anchorages, Plan B and Plan C, just in case Catapala was full or it didn't turn out to be what we expected.
Our Greek Waters pilot book is quite old, but the essential information that we require from it really never changes. These are things like, what is the bottom? Is it mud? Is it sand? Is it weed? Are there any obstructions? What is the prevailing wind? And are there any submerged rocks or reefs that we should look out for? Of course, it does mean that the facilities that are reported in the book are usually a pleasant surprise when we get there, because they've been upgraded since the book was written. After gathering all the information we can from the pilot book, we then go and have a look at our chart plotter, because it is the most up-to-date information we have on the area that we're planning on anchoring. This is basically just to cross-reference the information that we found in the pilot book and make sure that nothing major or dramatic has changed. Generally, the chart plotter also contains photos of the area we're thinking of anchoring in, which is very helpful, and it gives us the water depth at the anchorage of choice. Depending on the details of the information, it may also tell us what the bottom is. The prevailing winds for the time of year that you're visiting also play an important part in choice of anchorage. Throughout the summer months here in the Aegean Sea, the Meltemi is the wind that we have to take most consideration of, and it generally blows from the north, northwest or northeast, depending on exactly where you are in the sea. Once we've decided on our plan A, B and C for preferred anchorages, we put those waypoints into the chart plotter, and then we head back down below to the computer and open up Google Earth. In here we can actually see the most recent aerial photographs of the preferred anchorages, and we also get to plot out exactly which path we're going to take to get there. This gives us the distance in nautical miles, and from that we can generally estimate how long it's going to take us to get there based on 5 knots of speed. The final thing we look at are the wind prediction websites. We use Windy and Predict Wind. In particular, we're looking for wind direction, wind strength, and also the predicted gusts. Based on what we see here, we either go or we don't go, and that's generally how we plan our passages while we are here in the Mediterranean Sea. Good morning, people. It is Friday and we've just upped anchor to try and get another anchorage closer to town because we wanted to grab some internet. We're having internet issues again. The solution we thought we had is not working out because of rules, regulations and small print. We'll get round to that. So we went into a little bay back there. The mantis just would not go in. No. So we've decided that we're going to another island where we're actually going to anchor in the big bay right next to the town, and that'll allow us to put the dinghy in and dinghy over to town and look for a Greek Cosmote store to get internet data.
Where are we going? Was it Lipsy?
It's not too far. We are sailing. We're doing 6 knots at the moment, which is nice.
That's pretty good, isn't it?
Pretty good. Yeah, with 17 knots of wind.
Sweet. So.
Time of arrival 1:30. Then we're going to put the dinghy in.
Yeah.
And we'll head over to the little town.
Yeah.
And see if we can find somewhere to buy some data for our internet.
Yes, because we're running very, very low.
Yes.
I'm going to do the ship's log now.
Okay.
See you soon.
Well, we did think we had the internet all sorted and done and dusted, but unfortunately the fine print reads that with 3 from the UK, the SIM card, even though we're paying for 100 gigabytes of data per month, when you use the SIM card overseas, you can only access 19 gigabytes of data per month. And you can only be using it in Europe for 4 months out of a year. Internet woes. I'm sure every yachty has them, but of course when you work on the internet like we do, then you really need a lot of data. There's got to be a solution out there somewhere. There's got to be.
Next week on Sailing ABC, our mission to find internet data takes us over hill and dale. If you've enjoyed this video, go on, give us a like, and if you haven't already, subscribe and ding that bell icon so that you get notified of future videos. And if you really want to help us out, share this video with your friends.